My laptop just finally died. Hey D, you don't look funny today.
I look funny tonight.
You don't look funny.
Oh, I don't. That's because I didn't turn on my bright lights today. Oh, well, thank you very much. Uh-oh.
Big old Vash and
think he senses your fear. Get over there and face him. No, get over there and face him. You can't run from him. He's going to win. Yeah, win it! Win it! Yeah! Yeah! Win it! Win it! Yeah! Jags, you're winning! You're winning! You're winning!
You little shit!
Woo! Woo!
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Nope. There we are. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Too bad, not too bad. Just another day in the life. Nothing to really say. You?
Yeah, same thing. Just another day. Another day with a lot of shenanigans going on.
Yeah, you were telling me.
We got to talk about.
You broke your. Which fingernails did you break? Not these two.
I was hoping it was these, but it was actually these. So I'm kind of sad.
Should at least it'll like make you like you can grab like your scissors for work easier.
You got a haircut too. Look at you looking all fresh.
You know.
I noticed.
I mean, it's pretty easy to notice when like I just looked like I had a fucking like salt and pepper helmet on. Feel young again. My hair aerodynamic. But jumping into it, welcome to the Tuesday edition of Sunset Rants. I am Tay. Find my handle at AP2Tay for everything and everything. Top corner up there brings you to who and what we are, to our main website. You see all our producers, all our people's channels for what they do individually or what they do on the show. It's fantastic shit. You would love it. You know, if it's your first time here, thank you. Appreciate it. If you share whichever time, 100th, 20th, something, we love you just as much. Keep coming. But yeah, keep showing up to the show. You know, do us a favor. You know, it's kind of like the cliche for everything, but you know, like and share what we do. It definitely helps us. You know, and we love to do what we do. You know, we want people to see what we do. D.
So I am D, and you can find me on X and Truth Social as Cynical Latina, and that is my place to be able to speak without any censors. My motto for the day is "Make lobotomies great again" for repeat violent criminals that obviously can't be rehabilitated.
Wood chippers.
I mean, that would be perfect, but then you'd have all the people crying like, "Oh, that's inhumane."
We're talking about like world supply for food and stuff. It's just fertilizer.
Cruel and unusual punishment. Bring it back. Clearly, like people don't learn and they don't listen. So yeah.
I still think put the rapist in the gator pit. That's all I gotta say.
Lions.
I think it's fair.
Bears, polar bears, polar bear. They're cute. You know, send them to go meet.
Well, it's like a polar bear, a Kodiak, and a crocodile, and a hippo.
Oh, hippos. Yeah.
I think the hippo would win all of it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But it's the fear. And then it's ground beef for the rest. So it's like the gator will make the chicken nuggets. The polar bear will make, non-vegetarian Klondike bars. But we gotta
terrible visuals.
Like Klondike bars, shit. But yeah. So let's just jump into this. We got an interesting show for you tonight. Everyone's been seeing a lot of this stuff, and the first one is going to be coming from that murder on the train. I just learned earlier today. It's been out for a day or two, but I found out this the FBI and all of them, they've been on this for a while now. This isn't just as of recent.
Yeah.
Days, but video of heartbreaking deadly stabbing of Charlotte light train release, killing a 23-year-old Ukrainian woman on a Charlotte, North Carolina light rail train stirred debate over public safety in the city. This is North Carolina, of all places. Like this is supposed to be like one of the places that you can grow, raise your kids and your family. But going into it, this is coming from USA Today. Transit officials in North Carolina released a graphic video showing the fatal stabbing of a 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee on a light rail train. I'm guessing that'd be like the equivalent of New York's Metro. Police responded to a scene around 10 p.m. August 22nd after a 911 caller reported a woman had been stabbed in the throat, according to an affidavit. Irina Zaruska was pronounced dead at the scene. The Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department said in a statement. DeCarlos Brown Jr., 34, wood chipper, rape him in the butt with the cactus. Curling iron turned on. First-degree murder and Zaruska's death, police said. Brown was taken into custody August 28th after being treated at the hospital for injuries police say he sustained during the attack. He didn't sustain shit. What is he going to do? Oh no, my poor hand. I got a boo-boo from murdering an innocent person. Video attack obtained by police and later released multiple media outlets showed Zaruska entered the train car, sat directly in front of Brown. Police said the train traveled around 4.5 minutes before Brown pulled out the knife. We've all seen this. Everyone's seen this. And if you haven't, they just released the full video, or you can see the full video. Little, tiny woman just sitting there, and you just see him right behind. He's like, what is it? He just whoosh, boom, boom, boom. And she just sits there like, what the fuck just happened? And he walks away. These people are fucking scumbags.
The crazy thing is that she didn't even really realize what had happened. She kind of
I wouldn't realize.
Looks at him in shock, and then she starts to cry, and I guess he must have hit a major artery because in seconds she just keels over and falls to the floor. And the thing that blows me away, because I have a lot to say about this. Yeah. The thing that really blows me away is that nobody stopped to help her. And if you look at 5 people that were sitting all around her, they were all black. They glanced over real quick, barely even made faces, and none of them stopped to help her. Didn't even go check if she was okay. Didn't even look over to see if she had gotten up. Nothing. There was a dude that did help her afterwards. She was already dead. That dude took off his shirt and tried to stop the bleeding. But I'm assuming that they were farther up, maybe in the cart, on the train.
The guy that helped her?
Yes, because a guy did come and help her, but she was already dead. It was a guy and another white girl that ran over to help. But you know, there's so many there's so many levels to this case that's really upsetting. Of course, the
Oh,
fact that
they're
he had
100%.
already he had already been released from 14 different times for criminal activity, violent offenses. He had a very long criminal record. That's why I'm like, obviously this guy couldn't be rehabilitated. The last time that he was released, right before committing this murder, he wrote a letter to the so-called judge of how he was going to be rehabilitated and all this sympathy party, and the judge released him. This has to stop. Like there is no way that someone with such a long rap sheet could just be like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry," and then you just let them fucking go, and they go and commit a murder like this. It's something
I
has to
believe
give. So these judges that are allowing these violent criminals back on our streets, if they commit another atrocity, they need to be responsible for them. Like a sponsor, like, hey, you're going to release this motherfucker, you're going to be responsible for him. When a bartender doesn't cut someone off and then they go and drive and they hit someone and they kill someone, guess what? The bartender gets charged too. They go to prison too, and they get charged and fined too. Why not these judges? Like, there has to be some form of accountability where these people don't just say, oopsie, sorry, or don't even give a public statement at all for their actions. And they just keep on making these bullshit rulings and keep releasing these people. They don't have to deal with it. They live in their gated communities. They don't have to deal with these people. The rest of us do. So that's one, right? Two is that we were posting about it. Like when I found out about this, I started posting about it, just kind of blown away that this happened. And it's not because it's just a white person. I hate the spin that the media is giving this. So finally, when the major networks started covering this after we on X made big waves about it, they turn around and say, oh, well, it's because of their racistness that they decided to blast this on social media. You wanted us to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. It's your racistness. MAGA influencers are the one pushing this narrative. Blah, blah. No.
Rev, it's a fact of the matter, and that's what it is. It's an entire. There's a culture where, even that being said, it's people have been portrayed the victim or the people that are still, and it's nothing for nothing. I'm not saying anything against it. You know, not everyone is the same to anything, but it's when you have like an entire culture. I'm not even saying on the race. When you have an entire culture, it's just like, oh, fuck white people. I'm not going to hate them. That's the problem. That's why they're like, no one's going to stand up. If it was like, you know, someone else, like it was like that, there would have been. If it was a white dude doing like stabbing a black guy randomly, it would have been a whole media uproar. And that's the fact of the matter. And this is why when you go to like any of these like major media outlets that are liberal, they're not posting zero. You can find zero stuff on it. You have to go on independent research on stuff like this to find it. And then
there was over,
but then also 7... you can look at it at the equal one. Hold on, 1 second. Equal one. You can look. Was it Penny? You know that Brian was just showing online. It was like, you know, you had this guy who was being violent and crazy and just trying to use, you know, was harassing and threatening people's lives and stuff like that. And the guy subdued him. And then he got in trouble. But then because he was not even for his, he's like, dude's a Marine and he's going up. He's like, yeah, let me subdue this guy. Then he gets, you know, you can look, this can be looked at through every single level. But when it just comes down to the fact that it's more of a cultural thing. You know, in the past couple of years, you know, like you can, like, I'm sure you even say like, oh, like, fuck you, white girl, blah, blah, blah. And you're not even white. You know, I'm South American, but like, I'm still, stuff happening. All right. I've never done anything. My parents never done anything.
Does not fit a.
No, here, watch this. Yeah, let's watch this with, what's your face? Makes a great point.
And perhaps most shamefully of all, the majority of the media, many outlets in this room, decided that her murder was not worth reporting on originally because it does not fit a preferred narrative. Many of the journalists in this room spilled plenty of ink trying to smear Daniel Penny for defending a subway car from a deranged lunatic in New York City But none of those same reporters lift a finger to write stories about an actual murderer. Here's the truth that and perhaps.
No, she's not wrong.
No, and it's an ongoing thing all the time, and it's just this built up. It's just become like a violent culture. It doesn't have to be like the black culture. It's just the culture. Just like if you exist and you're white, like you can be beat up, you can be killed, you can be robbed, and it's okay. You could just be anything. It's okay just because of your existence. And there's an irony to it because the same people who are playing victim are people who aren't the victims at any point in time.
Exactly.
Like I have South American cousins. I came here, done the same shit. I'm sure you have family that I always make jokes about, but it's Mexican stuff. But I'm not making it now. I'm just saying, I have friends. It's the fact that there's just not an equalness, and it's basically like if you're poor or if you're from the hood or something, you just get a grace just for being a piece of shit violent person. You're not a piece of shit because you're violent. You're not a piece of shit because you're black. I mean, you're a piece of shit because you're violent. You're not a piece of shit because you're black or you're poor. But it's like, oh, this guy had 14 like convictions, and he already did 5 years or some shit like this. I think it was, or I might be confused for something else I was watching today. But this is it. Like you're saying, these people, like the people who are just letting him go, there needs to be accountability. Like this cashless bond shit is bullshit. And to a certain extent, like nothing for nothing, but like I've gotten in trouble for getting in a street fight before. Cool, perfect. But like when you just have stuff that's like when it's 14, when you have 14 things of violence, theft, just public nuisance following you. No, there's no fixing you. You're just a terrible human. And when you just see this little tiny thing just there and you just stab it from the back, like it just shows you like this specific guy, like just how big of a fucking loser, horrific, evil person they are. Like, they always say like guns don't kill people, people kill people. And like you could say the sig joke aside for it, but no, that's what it is. Evil finds a way. And when you have these people that just keep doing it, they're fucking awful. Throw them in Uvalde or whatever it is, those pits that people just disappear in. Put them in the wood chipper. Like there's asylums, there's prison, but this is what happens. This stuff happens all the fucking time. This just happened to hit the news, and it doesn't fit the narrative for what the mainstream media wants or likes, and it just proves the fact that it's just pushing just evilness and like senseless hate on just people who are just trying to coexist in a country that's supposed to be a melting pot. It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, and the thing is too, originally when the first clip of the video came out, right, what we saw was a very, very short clip of him stabbing her, and they blocked off the part where he stabs her, and they blocked off the actual where he hurt her, and then they go back to him just kind of walking around, pacing around, right? And
what are they gonna do? They don't.
Well, yeah, but that's the first thing that they showed. That's the first thing they showed, right? And so when the media finally started reporting on it, they started saying, "Oh, well, it's too early to assume his motivations and blah 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 blah." Then afterwards, well, of course it's not to us, but they want to spin it, right? They want to spin it like, "Oh, this is just a poor dude," and they actually blame the fact that. People were outraged because there was too many surveillance cameras, which is like, wait, what? Like, that's insane. Like, okay, so now you're going to blame the fact that there's security camera. Okay, whatever. So then the full video comes out where you hear audio and you see him stab her. And then he paces around and says, "I got the white girl." Now what does the media say?
It's disgusting.
It really is. So there should not be a reason to be defending this person he clearly was a violent criminal, a repeat offender, should have never been back on the streets. He committed this crime on purpose. And I'm sure that the defense for this POS is going to be, well, he's mentally unstable. He has schizophrenia. I don't give a damn at this point. That's why I'm like, make lobotomies great again. Like, obviously, this person will never be able to integrate into society. He's already been released 14 times. He already committed an unaliving. What more can you do? Like, they're going to imprison this guy, then say he's fine and release him out again. No. We need to make sure that we don't have to suffer for this person not being mentally fit. So I'm just over like the whole like narrative that they're pushing, and that they're trying to say that the only reason that we're upset it was because it was a white girl. No, this could have been any one of us. I'm a small woman. I could have been attacked just like this by some crazy dude that clearly has an agenda against. She wasn't even white. She was from Ukraine. I'm not white. A lot of people think I'm white. I'm Mexican.
Are you trying to be white?
Huh?
What are you trying to be, like being like Russian or Ukrainian, be considered white?
I mean, I think, to be honest with you, if because they sometimes when you fill out a sheet, they have you list your race and your ethnicity. Basically, your race. I'm trying to remember which one it is. One of the two is if you're light skinned or not. Basically, that's what it is. If you're white skinned, I'm white skinned.
You could be Mexican, you're considered white, or you could be like a Peruvian, or you could be anything. You're or Puerto Rican, and you're considered white.
Yeah, it's and we need to be real about these actual crimes that are being committed. The media has focused on like there was over 70,000 articles written about George Floyd and how he was killed by Derek Chauvin, and they didn't want to report not once about how this girl was killed. And when they finally did, they skewed it to blame MAGA and security cameras. I mean, we got to have a real conversation about what's actually going on with our justice system, with our judges, with our politicians. The fact that people knelt down, liberal politicians knelt down in memory of George Floyd, built him monuments. This was a career criminal as well that would have died regardless that day because he was chewing on a freaking speedball. He had COVID. He had all these, all this stuff.
No, he was already ongoing. Like he was already currently going. He was overdosing before he even got arrested.
Yeah, he was the dead man walking. You know, so
what was it? The mayor or whatever it was. Like, and just to show you, it's all bullshit. Like the same mayor who for last week's or the weeks prior, like that school shooting, he's like, oh, you know, these trans people, they have feelings. Like, you're like, I'm not saying what he said, but it's just like, oh, I mean, fuck you guys for like, you know, caring about the families. Fuck you guys for like, you know, your thoughts and prayers. You know, care about the trans people. Like, little fucking innocent kids, like, were shot and killed. He's the same guy, I believe. I'll be standing corrected on this. The same guy who put up, like, he was crying at the casket of like George Floyd. He's like, oh, boo hoo. Like, it's so pathetic.
Yeah.
Like, it's pathetic. And the guy was overdosing before he even met up with the cops. And then even all the coroners said it. Like, he was dead before this happened, and he died from an overdose. It had nothing to do with the neck. And you have this, and it's, you know, I think a lot of people are just kind of more pissed off, and this is why this is starting to get such national news. I think more people are just so pissed off for the fact that, like, it's just a huge bias on how the truth is directed and how the truth is portrayed. And like I said, it's, you know, if, you know, you could be a little 23-year-old Ukrainian girl, 109 pounds. It's not a train if just exists in white, or you're walking down the street, you're just white, and you get like assaulted, raped, or murdered by anyone who's just not another white person, then it's just, oh, it's your fault for existing. But if they do any of this heinous shit, which for thousands of years have been the no-no list, which have been, reprimanded with torture or murder or thrown in a hole in the ground, literally, and just forgotten. And these people are just like, oh, it's okay, we can do this because we can. And that's the big thing that's going on, and it's just kind of like, when is enough going to be enough to where it's like, if these people are committing evil things, race aside, your demographic and like, your standings on like, society aside, you're doing fuck shit. You pay the fucking price.
Well,
That's it.
we let society dictate, society has become very weak, and society has started dictating the moral high ground on what we should do and what we shouldn't do, and how we should see things and what we can say and what we couldn't say. We saw this a lot during COVID. And then a lot of people walked on eggshells after George Floyd, because the racial tensions were so bad, right? But at some point there was a shift where all of a sudden white people are vilified. They're the demons, and anybody that's not white is allowed to be racist against white people. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, social media, right? If you said anything against black people, it was racist, you would get a ban. Facebook, but the moment you saw someone saying, calling a white person a name, they would never get banned on Facebook. And we started seeing this thing growing, and it's been being fed by these racial tensions, because when a white person or anybody gets killed by a black person, nobody wants to report on it. And
Yeah.
and so it needs to be fair. We need to be real about what crimes are actually being committed, because then you have the bias that forms in people's minds, right? Because they only see white people. White people are committing crimes. Well, you're not showing everything. It's almost by omission. You're not showing people the real picture, and that's what I think we need to focus on moving forward, is also holding the media accountable so that they actually report the news and stop trying to spin things, like how they call Kristi Noem Ice Barbie. Like, come on, man. Y'all know better than that. Y'all know better than that. The way that they've reported on this case is a disgrace. So,
No, it's,
yeah,
I don't.
that's all I got to say about that.
No, you're right. Like moving forward, just for instance, it's like, like my me and my ex, like I've only ever dated like South American girls. My ex, like 4 years together, something like that. She was African, and I dated Asian girls. It's all I ever dated. Like my family on one side is either ashes in Eastern Europe or in a mass grave in South America, and some broad like was just being a fucking cunt. And she's like, oh, you fucking racist. I'm like, no, I'm not being an asshole because you're black. I'm being an asshole because you're being a fucking cunt. And you're saying that. So it's just like, and that's just the mentality that keeps going. But let's just get the fuck off of this, because I can rant on this. You're going to have to read
forever.
Yeah.
Okay, you want me to read this one?
Yeah.
All right. So from the CNN network, France's government has collapsed again. How did we get here, and what's next? So Paris, in Paris, of course, Paris. France's prime minister has quit after losing a confidence vote that toppled his government, plunging the country into a new political crisis. Francois, whatever his last name is, submitted his resignation to President Emmanuel Macron on Tuesday, who accepted it. A day earlier, 364 out of 573 lawmakers had voted against his government, well above the 280 needed after his attempt to force through an unpopular plan to tame France's ballooning budget deficit. Macron will appoint a successor in the coming days, according to the Elysee Palace, his fifth prime minister in less than 2 years. Before he was ousted, I guess Beirut warned that getting rid of him would not resolve France's challenges. You have the power to bring down the government, but you don't have the power to erase reality. I mean, he's not wrong. Reality will remain relentless. Expenses will continue to rise, and the burden of debt, already unbearable, will grow heavier and more costly. I mean, that sounds like pretty sensible, you know. Marcon now faces the task of steering France out of its financial morass. So why do French governments keep collapsing? The chaos can be tracked back to Macron's dramatic decision to call a snap poll last year, piqued by the remarkable success of the far-right national rally in the European elections in June 2024. The president rolled the dice on a parliamentary vote. The gamble backfired, and his centrist bloc lost seats to the far right and far left, leaving France with a divided National Assembly and effectively ungovernable. It didn't have to be this way. France's Fifth Republic, founded by President Charles de Whatever in 1958, was designed to end the chronic instability that plagued the Third and Fourth Republics. Earlier in the 20th century, the new constitution gave broad powers to the executive and set up a majority system to avert short-lived government. As a result, for decades, two mainstream political parties on the left and the right alternated in power. Marcon blew that order in 2017 by becoming the first president elected without the backing of either of the main established parties. Re-elected in 2022, he soon lost his parliamentary majority as voters flocked to the extremes. 2 years of fragile rule followed, with Marcon repeatedly forced to invoke Article 49.3 of the Constitution, pushing legislation through without a vote, to the increasing displeasure of opposition lawmakers and much of the French public. So it seems like basically everything's fucked up because Marcon, whatever the hell his name is.
The whole country's been shit though. Like that country is factually being shit just by how they've been running it for such a long fucking time. You know,
Yeah.
our country's one of the oldest countries, like as far as like, you know, powers in the world. Like I think they're like 11 or 1200 years old, you know, holding that kind of power. Like all things considered, like Germany's not even that old. Germany's only like 200-300 years old. You know, just for an instance. But like,
well, it just seems
this is
that
what happens when these people want to be like just the same thing that we're just talking about. They're like, oh no, we should let everyone over here because like everyone's love and everyone's cool. Like, no, not everyone's fucking cool. Not everyone's fucking equal. Like, different cultures are not the fucking same, and not all cultures are good.
no, and I mean, really, I guess he went in and started doing a bunch of stuff that nobody agreed with. I mean, just the fact that even CNN says that like he like ruled fragilely. I don't know. I mean, he's a fragile ruler, and he invoked articles of their constitution to put legislation through without a vote. Like, what the hell? Like, so everything bad that's going on in that country is all his fault. And I mean, I think the French need to rise up and kick his ass and his husband's ass out of there.
His husband's.
His husband. Yeah, they do not look happy.
No, I wouldn't fucking. No, France is a fucking shithole. Like, have you ever seen anyone who's recently gone to France, or like Paris, for example, the past like 5 years, and then you ask them like, "Oh, how was it?" And they never say, "Oh no, it was beautiful, it was great, it was awesome." They're always like, you know, it was okay." That's literally what they say every time because they don't want to say it.
Yeah, I think that it's not just getting rid of the prime minister, because the prime minister clearly, what he had to say about the situation makes a lot of sense. I don't know anything about how, like, what he's all about, but what he said makes a lot of sense. Like, getting rid of him isn't going to make everything go away. It's not going to remove their deficit. It's not going to change anything. Appointing a new person is just putting another band-aid on the situation, which is kind of like how a lot of places want to rule, right? They just want to put a band-aid on stuff and run it till the wheels fall off, and then make another like Mickey Mouse fix on it and expect things to hold up. But really what it seems like is that they need to get rid of Marcone. Like, he's made all these bad decisions for them and put them all in a horrible position. And even getting rid of him isn't going to fix the mess that they're already in. I mean, I guess basically what you could say is that they just need Donald Trump.
I was literally thinking
they can't have him.
Shit's not going to get fixed until you have that, because like it's been a safe haven for just a bunch of just losers from across, like, whether it be Eastern Europe, like, or like, South Africa or the Middle East, or just anywhere. And it's just become that. Like, it's become just a bunch of just wild people, a bunch of wild savages. And a lot of countries are becoming like this. The UK is like, England has fallen. You can't even hang like they can't even hang their flag anymore without like,
No.
And all of it is because they all have this mentality, and like the people are just over with it. And the only place over there that's, actually like, oh wow, we have no crime, our culture is good, is Poland. Wow.
Yes, they're big.
The past 5 years, every country went from like, like 900 rapes and murders to like 50,000, 40,000, 75,000. Like, this has nothing to do about being prejudiced against them. It's just you letting people into a country who are just not good people. Like, people whose cultures that should not exist in an advanced Western type of like civilization.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how it is. It sounds rude, it sounds off. It's just what it is.
Well, I mean, but it's true.
I'm not saying that's everybody, but I'm saying that's just what it is. This is what when you have a number from this to this, and rapes and murders and attacks and violence and theft and robberies and arsons. Like, no, it's enough of like the mumbo jumbo. Oh, hey, feelings. No.
Well, they've demonized nationalism, and nationalism is not a bad thing. Having pride in your country and being, having that patriotism towards your country, I don't see anything wrong with that. And, you imported a bunch of people from another country where now they're coming in, and instead of assimilating, they're trying to change your country into theirs, where they get offended if you walk your dogs close to them. They get offended, if you're not eating halal. They're like, everything offends these people. They get offended if you're flying your flags of your home country. Like, I don't know. It's just so strange to me. But I think people need to start. I think they need to start focusing a little bit more on going back to nationalism and focusing on your country and taking care of your country. There's nothing wrong with that. They've tried. Oh, you're a nationalist.
Made the world give its culture, its history, and when you start,
it's your country. You love your country, and that's it.
Thanks, Funk. By the way, appreciate you, bud.
Oh, thank you, Funk.
Yeah, no, that's the fact of the matter is, no, you're right. It's when you just start mixing, like putting mud and mercury in with something, you can be through anything. Like, this is just what the current climate is of it.
Yeah.
You can even make an argument from like when Japan got colonized and like got rid of all the samurais, got rid of half of the culture. Same thing for China. And then when China developed Maoism and all their stuff went into it because of communism or whatever it was, like back in the day. Like, but that was more of like, a government rule to anything. But it's still, when you start changing the culture of a society that has been based in this for hundreds of years, sometimes 1,000 or plus years, and it's just not coexisting. And then when you bring it up to speed, it's like, no, this isn't working. And like, no, like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's like, it's just becoming like exponential the past like, couple of years.
Yeah, it's something that's building, and hopefully people will start taking action and pushing back against it. And they'll
Yeah, I
actually
like
start
everything.
doing something, because the only thing that's going to keep happening is more collapse, more societal rot, and it's going to come to a breaking point. I think right now we just have so much instability, not just in America, but around the world. And these rich politicians and government officials, they're going to have to listen. Like, there's no way that they can keep
Give a
doing
shit.
and keep going how it's going. I mean,
They
they
don't
might not give a shit, but they're gonna find out, they're gonna find out at some point, because especially in America, here, it's by the people for the people, not you guys. You guys don't get to sit in your ivory towers and decide everything that goes on with us. We fund you, not you fund us. And
So,
Americans need to remember that. People need to remember that.
I mean, here lies the issue with that is if this does happen, if there is like a multi-societal, um, like or country, however you want to word this, like collapse, each country is not going to be able to sustain its own to focus on this, you know, whether they have their own equivalent like the National Guard or the military or special forces or stuff like that. It's going to be a revolution, and it's just going to be split apart. And then you're going to have places like, whether it be China or Russia. I don't think Russia so much, but I think more for China. We're going to take advantage of this
Of
and
course.
wean themselves in within the turmoil. And that's a huge thing to be considered. That could just be one of the outcomes. But let's just jump into it, because I think everything we're gonna be talking tonight is just gonna be like holy shit. I
I
think
think this is our palate cleanser. This is to kind of help us
yeah.
mellow out a little bit.
Drunken raccoon's life saved by nurse performing CPR after nearly drowning in moonshine.
Wow,
What?
that's a way to go.
Hell yeah. The dumpster diving raccoon got trashed. Like, when Kentucky nurse Misty Combs headed into work at Letcher County Health Department in Whitesburg. Oh no, it's a racist county. She didn't expect one of her patients that day to be a wild animal. I had some pretty crazy days on the job, but nothing like this, Combs told local news outlet Lex 18. Combs and her coworker reportedly heard a ruckus happening near the dumpster in the parking lot and noticed a panicked raccoon attempting to rescue two of her pups trapped inside. What? The puppies got drunk too?
You're like,
See,
why
and
didn't
you
I
said,
get drunk?
yeah, I told you, babies.
Everyone's getting drunk.
Our health department is right beside Kentucky Mist Moonshine Distillery, and they had put some fermented peaches. Oh, I love peach moonshine. They're all from the north. They're not from our area. Sorry you haven't had it. In the dumpster. I guess the baby raccoons had gotten in the dumpster and they were stuck. They were stuck. They were trashed. The orange motherly instinct kicked in. She's a mom. She's an alcoholic at that point. She's single. She knew she had to get the babies out of the dumpster. I saw that mama and she was trying so hard to get her babies back. She didn't know what to do, Combs told Ballot. She grabbed a shovel and scooped out the first baby raccoon, who ran to its mom and ran off. But the second raccoon was face down at the bottom of the dumpster, just filled with water and moonshine. Oh man.
I'm sorry, dude, that
It
looks
was
so
shit
bad.
face.
They could have
It
picked a better picture.
Yeah, it needs some milk. Everybody was around like, it's dead, it's not breathing. Dead, drowned. I could believe that. The water, so immediately started CPR. It's not a problem. Video taking my coworkers. Combs was seen performing compressions of the raccoon's chest, then flipping on his side. It slapped its back. Combs had never performed CPR on an animal before. In 21 years. Yeah, why the fuck would she? But she told Lex 18 that she did what she could in the moment to help save its life. So did it live? It eventually began breathing. Okay. Damn. Talk about.
That's funny. I'm sorry. That's so bad. Poor thing, but like,
I don't know if you've
that's
had
not the worst way to go.
Well, alcohol poisoning, that's an awful way to go.
He might not even know what's going on.
I mean, the next morning, if you live, probably not.
If he,
you guys don't get
right then,
moonshine.
he's probably out of his mind.
You guys don't get, but I know, I have a bunch of friends, who are from like, Georgia and from Tennessee, and like, when I lived in like, was it Georgia, Carolinas, and Tennessee? When I lived in Georgia too, down here a little grab it, but moonshine is the problem. With moonshine is you can drink it like it's wine. So like I'll drink a mason jar like this, and then I'll be like, my friends will wake me up like 2 days later and like, hey, are you alive?
I've had a sip of moonshine, and I'm like, I've had it. I've had no, I haven't just had a sip. I've had like one shot, and that was it. And then from there, I've had sips, but I won't. No, I don't mess with that. Mm-mm. No.
If it was peach moonshine. If you were face down,
I know I've had peach moonshine, and I've had what is it? I had a friend that made like apple pie moonshine. Oh yeah, dude, that stuff is good. Oh, see, Jennifer knows what's up. That's what I've had, the apple pie moonshine. That's good.
It's anything is great. It's just, it's a sleeper. You can have two shots, and then within like the next like 40 minutes, depending on how much you drink the other stuff, it's. Hey, if I found you face down in a dumpster of moonshine, that would save you just after a couple of minutes of you consuming more.
Oh my.
What do we got next after this one? That was a fun one.
I think we've got caption this after this.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what Brian says. There's probably enough for another one. They call him Otis.
Oh my. So is someone gonna keep gonna keep the raccoon? Oh, look at that guy. Oh yeah, look at. He's a Bruin.
That is so appropriate. So, if it's your first time here, basically, if it's your multiple time here, exactly. But first time here, at the end of, our segment or show, we grab an AI generated, photo, whether it be related to what we're talking about during the show or just in general. And we just try to make a meme out of it. And then towards the end of the season, I know we picked that. I don't know if we picked something, but I don't know if we just figured out who was on this show who won. But, we added to shirts, our merch, all this stuff. And like, we make like fun stuff out of it, and you get some free swag at the end. So it's always like enticing just to get some interesting viewpoints on this. You can make it dirty, you can make it funny, you can make it dark, you can make it whatever you want.
Man, homie there is like using a straw and everything just to. Man, that's gonna get him extra drunk with the straw.
I think it's an AI straw.
Yeah. Either that or he's like spitting a loogie into that.
I like mine.
Oh, let's see what did you post?
You know.
Oh, Roma, Trash Panda Moonshine coming to a liquor store near you. Let's see. Rocket the Raccoon is about to be a SpaceX rocket and crash. Oh, okay. Iris, the raccoons of hazard. Oh my God. Even the animals in Georgia run a meth lab. Okay, Jennifer says raccoons do raccoon thing with, I don't know what that is. Ferment mushrooms and see things that are not there. Let's see. Then Hardy says, wait till that bear gets a load of this. Ooh. I don't know. I can't think of anything. Oh, I just saw yours, just a raccoon and it's Boone.
Oh, here's Vash with his AI generated comments.
Breaking Bad Woodland Edition. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay. The file name. It's obvious. Okay, I don't know. What do you think the file name is? Raccoon juice?
I mean, I could open up the meta, but actually, I could literally just do that right now.
Is that what it is?
Coon Shiner.
I mean, I wouldn't have guessed that. I mean, now that you said it is obvious, but
I just feel uncomfortable just saying
that's
it.
why I didn't want to repeat it when when he said it.
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable
Our
saying
producer is telling us on up here, so I heard it and I laughed and I didn't want to repeat it, but thanks, Tay, for doing the honors.
It's not so much of an honor.
I mean it kind of does look like a little like witchcrafty, right? Like it's like boiling a pot or something to make
like the blue ambience. I was thinking like Breaking Bad.
Ooh. Okay, I know this is some kind of video game reference, Vash, but Disney movie at the start, Fallout DLC by the end. I don't know what Fallout is, that the game Fallout, but I don't know what DLC
it's an old Microsoft like Xbox game that they made a live action show of.
Oh no, Vash, with this isn't a potion. It's with it's what's left of your missing neighbor. Wow.
Like, stop using AI, man.
Wow. That's a good. I like that one. Yeah, I don't know which one I like, dude. I mean, Vash is just putting out all these really funny.
Because he does the same thing all the time.
Breaking trash.
He uses AI.
Okay, so our producer is saying that we have a winner. So our winner for tonight of Caption This is AK with Trash Panda Moonshine.
I'm for that.
Me too. Good job, best man. Roma, go Roma.
That's my
So
friend.
you are the winner. Woo! And that was exciting. I like that one. I thought the picture was funny, even though like I was really stumped. But y'all came in with like really funny captions. And even if Vash was using AI, I mean he came up with some good ones. I mean that was pretty funny. So I feel like little tears in my eyes, kind of poking a little bit from. That was funny. Good job, guys. Y'all did great. So, what say you?
I'm annoyed at current culture. It's just
Oh, yeah, me too.
upside down. It's upside fucking down. And I don't know if there's gonna be anything we can do about it. Because it's a no-win street. It's all
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's like, Pandora's box was opened. And once Pandora opened that box, there was no way that she could collect back all the evil that came out of that box. So that's kind of where we're at. We're going to have to learn how to mitigate the situation and do the best that we can and do the best to protect ourselves, but it is very frustrating, especially I think women are very vulnerable, and there's throughout the day I saw a lot of different situations. There was one guy that a Muslim guy, and also on a bus, just standing right there. The dude's chilling, drinking his coffee, and the guy pulls out a knife and 3 times tries to cut his throat, and he does cut him, but he didn't die, fortunately. But he did it in the name of his religion, and there's all kinds of these attacks. That the problem was that we need to be aware. We need to be vigilant when we're out in public. Be aware of our surroundings. Take care of yourself. It's not just like perceiving that everyone is a threat, but it's better that you're conscious of your surroundings. You never know. It could be somebody loses control of their vehicle. Maybe you could get out of the way in time. You never know. It's always better to be aware.
It's such a scapegoat though for this situation with this girl.
It is, but what else are you going to do?
Like, oh, well, you should don't go in this, go to that.
Yeah,
like, no,
but okay.
You're in public. You should, like, you're on a train. You shouldn't have to just, if you're not antagonizing or if you're not interact with anyone, you shouldn't have to be like neck turning back all the time. That should not happen.
No, but
that's stupid. Just to be like, oh, surroundings. I'm not saying what you're saying is stupid. I'm saying just the idea that I've seen people do it, and the idea that people have to live like that. No.
Well, yeah, but unfortunately we don't live in a perfect world anymore. So you're either going to adapt to it and be careful and watch yourself, because nobody's going to watch you better than yourself. So you're either going to watch out and be vigilant and maybe save your life, or not be paying attention and get yeeted by someone. So
she was facing the guy. What the fuck was she gonna do? Like, you go like this. It takes like half a second, a quarter of a second, and you're stabbed. The dude's like 6 something and like 200 pounds, and she's like 5'2", like 100 maybe pounds. Like, even if you were someone like this, was gonna, like, evil is always going to attack like the people who can't defend themselves, and that's just what it is.
Yeah. Well, I
If
mean, the situation was nearly almost unpreventable. I mean, the only real way that this could have been prevented if this guy would have been in jail where he belonged, or like in a mental institution. You know, unfortunately, the situation that presented itself, there wasn't much she could do. She could have sat somewhere else. She could have. There was so many different choices that she could have made that day,
Why
that
would you
possibly would have
go
changed
somewhere
the
else?
outcome. You
Why would
shouldn't
you
have
go somewhere
to,
else?
but that's just the world that we live in.
And he would have
So
sat, and if a little old Asian lady sat there, or if a little old white lady or grandpa sat there, or someone else, good chance it still would have happened. The guy's just
yeah. And like I said, the best way would have been for him to be in jail or in a mental institution where he belonged. But you know, we need to try to take some kind of power back after a situation like this. It's a very difficult and challenging situation. It's not going to be fixed, but
public executions. That's it.
that's still not going to bring her back, though.
It's not going to, but it would deter people from being pieces of shit.
That's true. But yeah, basically.
Alligator pits, wood chippers, vats of hydrochloric acid, the cartels, tips by tips with, like, you know, cutting your fingers off and like your lips off and your eyelids off with prune cutters, or like that one story I told you where they stuck a Kyler, they hogtied that guy, and they put a curling iron up his butt and turned it on and left him in the desert to cook from the inside. All of that is completely acceptable for, you know, people who just keep ruining society. And it's always the same people. It's a small fraction that commit a majority of all the stuff. Fuck them.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. But in the meantime, we need to try to do something to keep an eye for ourselves, and also just take care of yourselves. You know, this is a very painful news cycle. It hurts. It makes us feel very defenseless, and, you know, just stay safe. So that's all I got. Check me out on X, Cynical Latina, and hopefully, you know, we'll have better news on our next show on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, you know, I don't know when. But yeah, no, for me, I'm AP2. You can find me on everything. Also, check out our website, like I mentioned at the beginning, riseofmiddleamerica.com. See all our beautiful faces, links to all our different shows that everyone does, or the producers or the hosts or anything. You'll be able to also join us on our Discord. Hang out with us, talk with us. You know, there's always something going on, and you can hang out with us. And if you want to talk about something, more than willing to bring it up to our show. If you got anything you want to show as far as, like, you know, our caption is, hell yeah, before it. But if that is the case, let's hit this popsicle stand and call it a night, and we will see you guys on Thursday at 9 Eastern. Peace.
Bye.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.